What's up, fam? What's happening, fam? Welcome to this installment of this Pelican post game report. We in the building. For this special stream, man, we got a couple of things we're gonna be doing for y'all. We'll be breaking down in this series. We're gonna just be breaking down individually every Pelican member in terms of on the court that we've seen, starting from Garrett Temple, and also we're gonna review.
We gotta do Garrett Temple.
He's a member of the team. DC's on the team. So we're
I
gonna
get
talk about. We're gonna start with Garrett Temple, and we're gonna work our way up to the stars on the team. But anyway, let's get to it. DC, Big Q, he's DC in the building. Let's get into some of this talking and breakdown. So DC, we starting with Garrett Temple, man, on the season, man. 5.2 points per game, 2.4 rebounds per contest. Not much to talk about Garrett Temple, man. But yeah, not bad for him. He kind of got shot down on the back end of the season as better players or more players with better upside, rather. He had an opportunity to step in and play, but he still served as on the team role wise as a veteran, given leadership on court and of course on the bench. So Garrett Temple had his own ways of being valuable, had a couple of decent performances during the season, averaged 5.2, but later on he couldn't sustain a lot in his 11 years. Let's talk about Garrett Temple, recapping for the season and spanning ahead.
Yeah, Garrett Temple to me basically was a coach on the court. You know, that was his best attribute, and that's what I would hone in on. I noticed he had a lot of the guys wearing suits, a lot of different things that he did. The whole things we loved about the team dinners, you know, me joking about do we gotta do him. I mean, I don't really look at him as a part of the team per se to perform on the court. But off the court, Mr. Temple definitely did a lot of things to impact the team and help us build this winning culture that we have now. So I definitely got to give him credit for that, man. I really was looking forward to him maybe possibly retiring and going into a coaching role with the Pels, but I don't think I would retire if they just giving me $5 million to sit on the bench and do some tutoring and mentoring.
Well, we just seen this.
We just pretty damn good. You know,
we just seen his contract right here. We got that on screen. It's showing you for the full track. 2 years remaining this year and next year. 5.1 million this year, 5.4 at the age of 37 years old. What is his value going ahead for the upcoming season? More the same?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I can say I like about Garrett Temple, I mean, we all had our problems. He never should have been a starter for us, obviously, but you know, when guys got injured, you got to put somebody in there. And I think in spells, him coming in for an injured player, maybe until we iron things out, get one of the young guys up to speed as far as being able to take on a new responsibility of being a starter. I think he's a very valuable asset in that, because most of the games, when I look back and think about Garrett Temple, where he actually made a positive impact and we liked what he was doing, he came in kind of on the fly, when everything was going to crap for whatever reason. And he had a lot of games where he came in those type of situations and actually stepped up, provided a spark for the team, did things to help the offense flow. He's going to give defensive effort, even though, he's a little, what was the word they say, long in the tooth. He get a little older, so he can't guard everybody probably the way he did when he's younger. But he does make a positive effort there on the court, in my opinion. And as far as on the court goes, I think that's about as far as it goes. What I would like to see, him maybe coming in when somebody gets injured until we come up with a new game plan in practice. And then, you sit him back down or run him with the second unit if you absolutely positively have to. You want to try to avoid it, though, because Garrett Temple, I think, his career-wise was, a very good player, man, solid role player. The brother definitely has some skills. I think he's just older now, so what we see is just him not being able to keep up with the athleticism and just the younger guys, man. Younger guys coming in more skilled, a lot more polished, a lot more faster, obviously, than him. So you definitely don't want to have to rely on Mr. Temple. If we do, then we're probably in a bad situation.
A lot of young talent coming in, DC, including whoever the draft pick is going to be for the Pelicans. I can definitely see.
I'm claiming it, Q.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I think what ends up happening with a guy like Garrett Temple that he's at the end of the bench and he's the guy that ultimately will become a member of the coaching staff down the line. This year and next year remaining on his contract. Then again, DC, let's touch disappointments. Any trade value in terms of his contract, $5 million piecing together something. I've heard that in Rumorville about Garrett Temple. I think his best asset to the Pelicans is just what we talked about. But any potential in trading Garrett Temple?
I mean, I don't think there's any teams out there looking for a guy like Garrett Temple. It's almost ironic we talked about it being similar to Udonis Haslem, and I mean it's kind of a very similar mirror. I think them being kind of opposite ends of the spectrum for as guys. He's a lot more laid back, mild mannered than Udonis Haslem, but the role nonetheless is similar, man. And I think it's a crucial piece of the culture in far as what Willie Green wants to establish. I think he understands him and how to convey what Willie Green is trying to tell the guys. I think that's why it works. You can kind of show them and tell them at the same time, just being another coach on the floor. And that probably will turn into CJ McCullough, honestly. And you're gonna phase out a guy like Garrett Temple, because I mean you have CJ to be in that same role. But as of now, like, I mean, who's out there looking for a Garrett Temple and taking on $5 million? Unless we're attaching some type of pick or something to it just to move his contract for money purposes to get maybe a guy like Mo Bamba. They sound like they're not gonna keep him. That's a guy a lot of people are projecting for the Pels to go after. Maybe Garrett Temple is a guy they try to move with a Devontae Graham and a pick. I don't know. I don't see it happening, but that right there would definitely free up about $15 million, just those two players, if they wanted to.
Perfect.